Hey guys, in this video, let us get an introduction to microservices. These are the topics that we will be discussing now. What are microservices? We will try to understand microservice with an example. What are the challenges that are faced in monolithic architecture? The difference between a monolithic and a microservice architecture? What are the benefits of microservices? And how to design a microservice? Or what are the criteria that are needed to design a microservice? Let us start with understanding a microservice. When you just check in for what are microservices, you will be getting the definition as microservices is an architectural style where an application is created as a set of loosely coupled services that implement business capabilities. This is the definition that you will be seeing everywhere. What exactly is the meaning of it? Let me explain this with an example. Assume you want to create an e-commerce application. In that scenario, based on the business capabilities, you will identify the modules that are required for that particular application. So in this case, we need a module for product, for buyer, for seller, and in case if the buyer is ordering something, order or billing, then cart, that is shopping cart, then delivery. I am just considering only few modules. So if you are going to develop this as a monolithic application, all of these will be modules and the whole application itself will be deployed into one single EAR file, enterprise RQ file. Now the same application, how I can just do it in microservice? I am having an e-commerce application. These are the modules I have identified based on the business capabilities. In case of a microservice architectural style, now I will design, develop and deploy them as individual services. So in this case, product will be a separate service, buyer will be a separate service, seller will be separate, cart will be separate, delivery will be separate and order will be separate. The designing, the development and the deployment, all these three will be done independently. So to develop one single application, we are creating it as a collection of loosely coupled services. What is the meaning of loosely coupled services? They are designed, developed and deployed independently. How can I design a microservice? There are several design patterns available for microservices. In this use case, what we have done is we are designing our microservice based on the business capabilities. That is, for me, product, buyer, seller, cart, delivery are the modules that I have identified. Now I am just creating them as independent services. I will go in for the definition of microservices again. You can have a look. So the microservice is an architectural style where one single application is created as a collection of loosely coupled services. How to identify the services? It can be based on the business capabilities or databases or deployment model or any other design pattern that you may choose. Now, what is the advantage of this microservice? Each microservice will run in its own process. That is, you are going to deploy it separately. And how the microservices will communicate between each other? Using lightweight mechanisms. They can be developed as REST APIs or RPCs, remote procedure calls. Each service is developed and deployed independently. Already we have talked about this. And each service can have its own database or it can share a database with some other microservice. So one other example of microservice is given over here. I have an e-commerce application. I have decomposed my application into different microservices. You can see that here: product management, delivery management, inventory management, order management. And other than that, you can also have seller management, buyer management. So when I want to develop an application for an online e-commerce application based on the business capabilities, I can divide my application into different microservices. So this is about a microservice. Microservice is just an architectural style where you are dividing your application into a collection of loosely coupled services. Till now, we were comfortable working with monolithic architecture, wherein you are creating them as modules and deploying it into one single EAR file, enterprise RQ file. Now, let us understand what are the challenges that we faced in monolithic architecture and why we are moving on to microservice architecture. These are the few challenges that I have listed out in case of a monolithic architecture. Large code base and is complex to fully understand. In case of a monolithic application, the code base is huge because you are adding multiple modules in one single application. Due to this, the maintenance is very difficult in case of a monolithic application. It is very complex to fully understand. That is, when a new person is joining your project, he or she will find it very difficult to completely understand the code base. Size of the application. Already we have seen that it is having a large code base, so obviously the size will be very high. This will slow down the startup time for the application. Next, redeploy the entire application on each update. Whenever you want to add or remove any new functionality, or if you are doing some maintenance, each and every time you need to do an update. So this is again one of the main challenge in case of a monolithic application. Difficult to scale when different modules have conflicting requirements. Now in case of a monolithic application, scaling is very difficult because adding more and more modules, and if there is any conflict between the modules, this will result in difficulty to scale your application. Bug in any module can potentially bring down the entire process. If there is a error or bug in any of the module, the whole application crashes. This again is a challenge in case of a monolithic application. Difficulty in adapting new technologies. People in a group who are working comfortably in a monolithic application find it difficult to move the same application into different technologies. That is also another challenge of monolithic architecture. Now, let us understand what is the difference between monolithic and microservice architecture. What are the advantages that we have in a microservice architecture? In case of monolithic architecture, already we have seen that all the modules are bundled together in one single unit and deployed as an EAR. So they are all tightly coupled modules. In case of microservice, here I am having one application which is developed as a collection of loosely coupled independent services. So that is the first advantage. In case of monolithic architecture, the presentation layer, the business layer, the integration layer, all are combined into one single unit and all the modules are together. In case of microservice, each functionality is going to be a separate service. That is, I will have one service for customer, one service for product, one service for seller. And how they are going to interact? They are going to interact with each other using lightweight mechanisms. Usually in case of Spring, we create these microservices as REST APIs. Because they are developed as separate services, fault isolation is much easier. Maintenance is much easier compared to monolithic architecture. In case of monolithic application, it is deployed as a single WAR file. In case of microservice, each service is designed, developed and deployed as individual service instances. How the microservices will talk to each other? They can talk to each other in a synchronous manner or in an asynchronous manner. There are many options available for both. Now that we have understood the difference between monolithic and microservice architecture, we will go back to the challenges of monolithic architecture and see how these challenges are being rectified in microservice architecture. Large code base. In case of microservices, it is small code base. And it is very easy to understand. The reason being, the size of the team of every microservice should be in such a way that they can share only one medium-sized pizza. This is given by Martin Fowler. You can just go and browse about Martin Fowler microservices. So technically the size of the team will be 8. And every new person who is joining can easily understand the microservice because the code base is very small. Obviously, the size of the application is going to be small because each and every service is developed and deployed independently. Next, need to redeploy the entire application on each update. In case of microservices, we are not going to redeploy the entire application. In our case, or one single application is developed as a collection of loosely coupled services. So in case of an e-commerce application, I am having product separately, cart design developed and deployed separately, seller design developed deployed separately, buyer separately. Now when I want to add new functionalities or when I want to update a functionality in product, it is enough that I will deploy product service. I don't have to touch cart or seller or buyer. That is one of the advantage of microservice architecture. So it is very easy to scale because the services are loosely coupled and independent of each other. Bug in any module. Fault isolation is very easy in case of microservices because if an error or a bug or exception happens in product service, rest of the services will still continue running, only the exception occurs in product module. It is easy for us to isolate the error and handle it. The application itself will not crash, only that particular service has to be taken care. Difficulty in adopting new technologies, that also is not there. In case of microservice, we don't have to bother about the technology. There is a diversity in technology which is allowed. It means that each microservice can be also developed and deployed in different technologies. Only thing is they are going to talk to each other using lightweight mechanisms. So these are few advantages of microservices over monolithic architecture. The same thing we will be seeing as benefits of microservices later. Now let us see the pictorial representation. In case of monolithic architecture, we are going to deploy this as one single WAR file. In case of microservice architecture, each one is going to be a separate service. Say for example, this can be a product service, this can be seller, this can be order and cart, which is going to share the same database. So in case of microservices, they can either have their own independent database or they can share the database with other services. And this is my whole microservice ecosystem. So in this case, one single application is developed as a collection of loosely coupled services. This is also one other example of microservice. Now I hope you can understand. This is the UI. The application is not a part of the UI. So this is our microservice application. So these are the services: user service or customer service, order service, catalog service. Each service can have its own database. You can see one thing called a service registry. We will discuss about this in detail later. So this is just an example of microservice. Now let us see few corporates who have incorporated microservices architectural style for developing their application. Netflix, Amazon, eBay, Twitter, PayPal, Guild, Uber. Technically, these applications were developed using monolithic architecture. Now slowly they have switched on to microservice architecture. Next, let us talk about the benefits of microservices. Already we have discussed. Now let us just go through that again. Modular in nature. Each service is modular. The code base is very small. Each service is going to take care of only one specific functionality. Product means everything related to product. Cart means everything related to cart. Buyer related to buyer. So it is something like single responsibility principle. Think of a module. That module is developed as one single service. That is how it is. This is also following the design principle SRP, single responsibility principle. The next one is independent development and deployment. Already we have seen that each microservice can be developed using any language, any technology, and can be deployed independently. Loosely coupled. The services within an application are loosely coupled. Then how they can talk to each other? Using lightweight mechanisms. Each service can be developed as a REST API, and just like how any other REST API talks to another REST API, they can talk among each other. Independently scalable. You can add new functionalities to each service without disturbing the other services independently. Faster. Because the microservice is very small, the application starts faster and it speeds up deployment. Already I have told you, as per Martin Fowler, the size of your microservice team should be in such a way that they can share only a medium sized pizza. That is, the limit of the microservice team can be 8. Next, improved fault isolation. In case of a bug or error or exception, it is very easy to identify it because the microservices are loosely coupled and only that particular service is going to go down. Rest of the services will be running, meaning to say your application is not crashing completely. Only the service that is affected is down. Technology diversity, already we have seen that. The microservices can be developed and deployed in individual technologies. These are few benefits of microservices. Next, let us understand what are the criteria that we need to consider while designing microservices. These are few criteria that we need to consider. The first one is service registry. So already we have discussed about an e-commerce application. So I told that I am having few services: product, seller, buyer, order, cart. Now how the services will talk to each other? We told that they are going to talk to each other using lightweight mechanisms. But how product will know that there is a service as seller, or how buyer will know that there is a service as product? For that, all the services that we are creating for one single application should register themselves to a service registry. So that is the purpose of it. So now I will have a service registry where all the services will register themselves. Now it is easier for every other service to look up into the registry for searching for other services. Suppose if seller wants to search for product, he cannot search directly. Instead, he has to come to the service registry and search for product. Same is the case with other services. How to develop the services? The services can be developed in any language. They are developed as REST APIs, representational state transfer. So this is my whole application, which is a collection of services. How this application will connect to the UI? When I say a UI, it can be a mobile app, or it can be a web app, or it can be any other API. The UI cannot talk to the microservice directly. Instead, you will be having a gateway API. So you need to consider what gateway API you want to use for your microservice application. So that also has to be taken care. Now again, coming to the fault isolation part. When there is a error or exception or a bug that happens in a service, I don't want to send the error or exception to another microservice. Instead, I want to give some fallback message, fallback method. So that can be taken care with fault tolerance. So this also can be used as a circuit breaker. Next is load balancing. You would have learned about server-side load balancing and client-side load balancing. In case of microservices, we will be talking about client-side load balancing. That is, if one service wants to connect to another service, how the load balancing is taken care. This also has to be considered when you are designing a microservice. The last one is declarative client. That is how to create a stub for calling another microservice. So these are the things that we will be discussing when we are learning about microservices. So is there any API or framework for working with microservices? You all know about the company Netflix. Netflix is a corporate which deals with video streaming. Netflix faced many challenges while having their application as a monolithic architecture. So they converted their whole application into a microservice architecture. So during that time, whatever libraries that they have designed for developing the microservices, they have made them as open source. We will be using those libraries for creating the service registry, gateway API, for working with fault tolerance, load balancing and declarative client. In the next session, let us discuss about the components of Netflix API. Thank you.